By the mid-1960s, Chicago had become one of the most segregated cities in the entire United States. Its schools were segregated, its neighborhoods were divided, and its unions operated along strictly defined racial lines. The police force and city government functioned in a system so entrenched that it seemed invisible to those in power. In 1966, Martin Luther King Jr. came to Chicago, bringing the Southern Christian Leadership Conference to the North. The movement decided it was time to confront the North, and Chicago was chosen as the primary target. Mayor Richard J. Daley, the most powerful Democratic machine politician in the country, stood as the primary opponent. King moved into a Lawndale apartment on the west side, living among the people he had come to support. He led marches into all-white neighborhoods like Marquette Park, Gage Park, and Cicero, demanding the right to open housing. What he encountered on those streets stunned him, revealing a depth of hostility he had not anticipated. White mobs attacked the marchers with rocks, bottles, and bricks, while Confederate flags flew in Chicago neighborhoods. Police stood by and watched the violence unfold, offering no protection to those exercising their right to protest. King said afterward that he had never seen hatred as intense as what he faced in Chicago's Southwest Side. He noted that this level of vitriol was unlike anything he had encountered in Alabama or Mississippi. Chicago showed King and the country that the North was not free. It was just differently, cruelly unfree. The Chicago Freedom Movement negotiations finally produced a summit agreement in August of 1966. Daley promised reforms, and open housing commitments were made to appease the growing pressure of the movement. Then, almost immediately, most of those commitments were quietly ignored, and the machine survived once again. 2 years later, Chicago became the site of one of the most televised confrontations in American political history. The 1968 Democratic National Convention was held in Chicago during a summer of profound national trauma. Robert Kennedy had been assassinated, and Martin Luther King Jr. had been killed just months before. American cities had burned in grief and rage, and the Vietnam War was tearing the country apart. Thousands of protesters converged on Grant Park and Michigan Avenue, demanding an end to the ongoing war. Mayor Daley deployed 23,000 police officers and National Guard troops to maintain control of the streets.